Yo, what it do? And y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV. Hey, thank y'all for stopping back by the house, chopping it up with your boy, man. Man, this is gonna be my third attempt at making this. Well, actually, my fourth attempt at making this video, man. For some reason, YouTube is tripping, and every time I try to upload this video, I get some kind of error. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, this time will be the charm. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it, man. First off, man, y'all know what to do, man. Wipe your feet, close the door behind you, man. Come join me on the back porch. You know what I'm saying? We chilling. It's a nice cool day outside today, so we're gonna do this out back on the back porch. Gotta send a big shout out salute to the whole block fam. That's Marlo's Corner with the homie Trey X, El Fenici, Chris Rayner, Legendary Top Cats, Main Boxing Biker, D-Lo 404. Tone Bangers, everybody else that rock out with us, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all stop by Marlo's Corner tonight for the good fight call, man. So it's going down, man. This fight is going to be broadcast on Fox, if I'm not mistaken, tonight. So yeah, that's what it is. All right. Also, shout out to the whole LDBC and the whole greater fighting community, man. Everybody that love this boxing talk, man. This boxing thing, man. Salute to y'all. And like I said, appreciate y'all rocking out with us here at the house, man. But this is the breakdown prediction video for Jarrett Hurd versus Julian Williams. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. And as always, I got my notes. So let's get it. All right. Start with Jarrett Hurd. Jarrett Hurd comes in with a record of 23-0-0 with 16 KOs. Stands 6 feet 1 inches tall with a 76.5-inch reach. So let's get into the good. Super tough fighter. Super tough. Strong, physical, durable. What else can I say about him, man? He's the equivalent of a walking brick wall. I would like to say a brick wall on tank tracks. You know, that's Jarrett Hurd. Can take he can take shots, take damage, keep going. But if those bricks hit you, he can also do damage. So, yeah, super tough fighter. He's got a high punch resistance, man. I've said on multiple occasions, man, this dude can take a mule kick to the face, eat it, and keep going. You know, now, will that have effect on him, you know, going forward? Only time will tell. But we'll see. Heavy-handed. Sits down on shots. That's one of his calling cards, are the hard thudding shots that he puts on opponents, and that's going to be something that J Rock is going to have to be leery of. He's going to have to watch out for, and he's going to have to give respect to. You know what I'm saying? That boy Jarrett's not going to come in there pity patting. He's coming in there to lay leather. So J Rock's going to have to be mindful of that and be on guard. Vicious body attack. I love the way Hurd puts his shots together to the body. He lets his hands flow and lets them fly, man. His combination punching to the body, to me, is on par with any of the top elite body punchers, you know, in boxing today, man. I love to see that. And that's his primary focus, man. He wants to chop down that tree and invest to the bank of the body. You do that, normally good things happen, and good things always seem to happen when he does that. He's a good combo puncher, and he lets his hands go in spurts. Really fluid, really smooth, able to put together a variety of different combinations. And changes levels with him. Whether if he starts at the head, he normally ends up at the body. If he starts at the body, he ends up at the head. You know, and I love the way he does that. He's got good uppercuts too, and I'm gonna speak a little bit more about that later on one of my other points. Very good power puncher. Very good power puncher. Everything from the 3 to the 6, in my opinion, is good. He's effective and capable with both hands. Strong with both hands, and that's something that you're gonna see tonight. He's best in the phone booth. He loves to be in what I call the kill zone, that shoulder to shoulder, chest area, in close, in tight, and that's where he seems to be most adequate at. Like I said, does his best work. most comfortable. That's where he wants to be. He's gonna get busy once he gets in there. All right, he's got a non-stop motor. From the time that his on switch gets flipped to the final bell, that dude is non-stop, consistently coming at his opponent, trying to put pressure on his opponent, and trying to bring the fight to his opponent. Now, the fight against Jason Welborn looked a little different than normal. That's the most I've ever seen Hurd, quote unquote, on the back foot or backing up, and it seemed like he wanted to practice on his boxing fundamentals and show that he had boxing skills and technique more than his normal just mow his opponent down. But the norm is for him to come at the opponent, and the pace that he normally starts the fight at when he gets going is the pace that he ends at. Applies excellent effective pressure. That kind of goes hand in hand with the non-stop motor, but he's the one that's bringing it to the opponent. He's the hunter, the stalker, all of that, man. He's Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, all of that, man. He's not a Ferrari, not the even though his name is Swift, he's not the fastest, but he's got that diesel, diesel engine. He's built for the long haul, and strong and consistent, and that's the type of pressure that he applies. Keeps opponent's head in his shoulders. That's one thing that stood out to me when I was going back looking at film on Hurd, is I love when he's able to get in that phone booth space. He has a tactic that he likes to use where he'll get the opponent's head on his shoulder or in his shoulder or whatever the case, and he'll keep his head to the outside of the opponent's head, and then he'll work off shots to the body, and then he'll just come up his own body with an uppercut. That's why I said I want to touch on the uppercut thing from a little bit earlier. But normally the opponent's head is normally laying on his shoulder, and he'll lean back just enough and just follow right up his body. Just whoop. And when he leans back, the opponent's head normally leans forward, and they come right into it a lot of times. Effective tool, an effective tactic that he uses, and he uses really well, man. So if he's able to get in that phone booth and they get in that shoulder-to-shoulder, stage of the fight, pay attention and keep an eye on how many of what I call those special deliveries, or little sneaky uppercuts, man. Those hard, sneaky uppercuts, man, Hurd is able to deliver. All right, on to the bad. Hurd is a slow starter. For whatever reason, I kind of liken him to a Terrence Crawford, where Terrence Crawford, the first few rounds is processing, he's analyzing, he's looking, he's devising counter tactics and a counter game plan. Hurd is sort of the same way. I don't know how much analyzing and processing he's doing, or if it just takes him that long to get that diesel engine motor revved up and going. But yeah, his early rounds, opponents can win those if they're busy and effective, and they're able to get shots on him. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully J-Rock takes advantage of that if Hurd does do his normal slow start tonight. Not the most efficient puncher. I've seen a lot of times where he seems to, especially from the outside, he throws shots, and the shots don't necessarily seem to be, the mission isn't to score. The mission is to kind of get the opponent to not throw punches, and he clears a path so that he can get in that phone booth in that kill zone area. A lot of those punches he throws from the outside don't connect, and he ends up in the kill zone right there where I call ground zero, where Eros Landi Laura was able to make him pay for a few of those, but it puts Jarrett Hurd closer and in that range where he's most comfortable. He might take a shot or two, but at the same time, once that happens, he's right there where he wants to be, so he can do that intermediate to inside fighting that he likes to do. let me see, accuracy lower from the outside. And we kind of touched on that just a second ago, how from the outside, a lot of those punches don't connect. And that's something I would like to see him work on in the future is his long range game and the accuracy level of that. But it is what it is. He's a straightforward and back fighter and has a lack of angles. That's self-explanatory. But at the same time, he needs to. I would like to see him incorporate more angles into his game and give opponents different looks and more difficult looks to counter against because of the angles that he uses. Has a so-so jab. It's a pawn jab, a range-finding jab most times. But every now and then you'll see the sharp piston-like, you know what I'm saying, mule kick jab. Misjudges range. We talked about that a little bit before. He'll throw punches too far away from the outside, and they don't connect, and he'll wind up in the kill zone. Little to no head movement. He takes a lot of shots, and that's my next point. He takes too many punches, so we'll wrap those two together. But due to the lack of head movement, he takes a lot of shots that he wouldn't necessarily have to take if his head was not a stationary target for his opponent. But being Jarrett Hurd, you know, he likes to be lined up right there, right in front of the opponent with very little head movement. So I guess it's easier for him to initiate his offense, and maybe it's a little easier for him to see offense that's coming his way. But whatever the case may be, the head doesn't move a whole lot, and he takes shots. Plotting footwork, slow feet. Get out of here, little whatever you are, bug. But yeah, a lot of times he looks like he's walking through wet cement or quicksand or whatever, man. He's not the most fleet of foot, and that's just one of the cons in his game. Keeps hands low, especially when he's after exchanges or when he gets through the series of punches. Excuse me. When he comes out of those exchanges or those series of punches, you'll see the hands right here, chest level, or sometimes down at his waist. And a lot of times he's still in the kill zone. You know, he's still within reach of the opponent. And like I said, Laura was one of the people that was able to take advantage of some of those situations. So he needs to come out of exchanges and punches more defensively responsible and in a better defensive posture. All right, now we're going to J-Rock. All right, Julian Williams comes in with a record of 26-1-1. We know one of those losses was to one of the Charlo brothers. He has 16 KOs, which both of them have the same amount of KOs. And I'll admit, I thought Jarrett Hurd's KO percentage was going to be higher than it is. But I was kind of surprised to see that it was 16 out of 23 fights, which still isn't bad. It's a 70% KO ratio. I just thought it would be higher. J-Rock stands 5 feet 10 inches and has a 72.5-inch reach, and he's an orthodox fighter. So Hurd has a 3-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage on Julian Williams. All right, so on to the good. J-Rock has a good jab, and he works well off of it. That's self-explanatory. You know, good, sharp, crisp jab, and he's able to double and triple up on it. That's a tool of his that works for him when he uses it effectively. And he's able to go into good combinations off of his jab. Excuse me. He is also a heavy-handed fighter. Not as heavy-handed as Hurd, in my opinion, but he's got respect-gaining power in his hands. He's got the type of shots that when he hits an opponent, the opponent is like, whoa, okay. Yeah, this dude is for real with it. All right. He's got nice footwork. He moves around the ring very fluidly. He's an athletic fighter. He's got very good lateral movement. That's one of the things that I like about him. He's able to navigate in and out of the ring, and his footwork gets him out of as much trouble as his head movement can get him out of. So that's a good thing. He doesn't have cinder blocks for feet. He's a nice counterpuncher. which shows that he has the ability to transition pretty well from offense to defense, or defense to offense, whichever. It's got nice combos, primarily his short combos. The 1 and 2 is his best. The 1-2 is his best combo to me, which is that jab followed by the straight right. But the 3-4 or the 4-3, depending on which one he throws first, to the body. That's the left and right hook or the right left hook to the body. Those are some good combos as well. Has some slickness. He shows signs of being an elusive fighter, able to slip shots, and that's good upper body movement and good head movement on his part. So that's definitely going to need to come into play tonight, and we'll see how well he works with that. Good at smothering opponents. I was watching the Gallimore fight, and there were times in the fight when Gallimore was getting in on him and able to have success in tight. And one of the adjustments that Williams made was he just started clinching and tying them up once they got, once they got close enough, or when he was on the ropes, whatever the case may be, man. So he started to nullify all of that inside work and just waited till the ref came and broke him up, So, yeah, that's what that is. He's good body puncher. Got tongue tied. Has good use of angles. Now, in comparing the two, the use of angles, that box gets checked on the part of that in favor of J-Rock. J-Rock does a much better job of presenting different angles, which gives him a variety of angles to initiate his punches and his offense, but it also makes him a harder target for his opponent to counter because of the angles that he's fighting at. He knows a lot of the veteran tricks. I was talking about him clinching and holding and tying fighters up, but he's also good at holding with the offhand that the ref can't see, and hitting the opponent and getting busy, while he's holding. He's also good at using his head to his advantage. And I don't mean, thinking or his mind. I mean his actual head. And, keeping it in the opponent's chin, in their neck, coming forward with it, frustrating and aggravating and things like that, being a nuisance to the opponent. But he knows how to use a lot of the little veteran, quote unquote, dirty tactics and tools, man. So be watching out for that. When you see it, be like, Roughhouse said he was gonna do that, man. But yeah, it's something that he does well, and he'll go as close to the line as he can, without the ref, stopping him and taking points away. All right, on to the bag. He keeps his hands low as well. Not necessarily as low, like waist level, but I saw a lot of times when he was in his stance, instead of the guard being up, like this, his guard will be chin level. All of this is exposed. And when fighters do that, man, I've come to see that those are the type of fighters that try to rely solely on their quick twitch reflexes, head movement, upper body movement to slip, dodge punches, and sometimes it works, sometimes not so much. So we'll see. Disappears for periods during fights. There will be lulls of inactivity from J-Rock, especially if the opponent is having success. Now, if he's like just whitewashing and dog walking his opponent, his output stays consistent. But if the opponent is having a measure of success on him, excuse me, you'll see times when he's just out there dancing around, moving, kind of confused, looking for ways in, on his opponent with very little punch output at all. So, we'll see if that happens during this fight. If Jarrett Hurd is successful in his offense against J-Rock, expect pockets of inactivity and J-Rock just dancing around the ring, looking for a way in, looking for a way for him to get some scoring shots. I don't know what this is. Ah, man. Excuse me, y'all. Man, that ain't even a dope. That's what's up. Where are we at? Has a gas tank problem. He gets winded in fights. And from the mid to the late rounds, shows evidence of him, needing snaps on the petrol. Pop decreases as fight goes on. Now, with this box right here, I would definitely check this one in favor of Hurd. His punches are as hard round 12 as they are round 1. And but with J-Rock, I think I said this wrong. I would check this box in favor of Hurd. Hurd. If I said that incorrectly before, I'm going to say Hurd. J-Rock, as the fight goes on, and this kind of piggybacks on that gets winded thing. Yeah, sometimes he catches his second win, but his shots don't seem to have as much pop, vigor, snap, damage, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, later in the fight as they do early in the fight, which is the case with a lot of fighters. So, the more tired you get, what they say, exhaustion makes fools of us all. Excuse me. Dang. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. It feels like there's something in my throat. Alright, but we're gonna get through this. Sacrifices speed for power sometimes. He with his hand speed, and I don't know if I said that before, but I got it written that J-Rock has good hand speed. I think I skipped that. But yeah, it has good hand speed, and especially with his combination punching, man, he lets his combinations go very, very smoothly, very quickly. And that's something that I like to see. Excuse me, y'all. Oh man. Got standing 8 count right there. Yeah, lets his hands go quickly, smoothly. But on the flip side of that, like I said, sometimes sacrifices speed for power. I kind of liken it to Amir Khan, but he's not on the same level as Amir Khan. There's a whole lot of ish, but there's not a lot of oomph on that ish. When he's letting these punches go, there's not a lot of sit down on these punches. Yeah, he can get them on his opponent quickly, but they don't have a lot of pop on him when he does. Gives different looks with angles. I already said that before. He's susceptible to the uppercut. In his loss against Charlo, that was his downfall, was that uppercut that he didn't see coming. Now, we talked about Hurd's uppercuts, especially when they're shoulder to shoulder. Is that going to play a factor tonight? It could, and if they're able to get in that shoulder to shoulder mode, I bet $100 to a bucket of dog poop that those uppercuts, those special deliveries are going to come into play. So we'll see. Has been KO'd before. Fighters who have been knocked out before, that is always in the back of their mind. Always. Nobody not remembers that they got floored, their last fight or a few fights ago, because you don't want that to happen again. Now, fighters either react one or two ways. Either, that's going to motivate you to sharpen up your defense, your tools in your toolbox, polish them up, keep it tighter, be able to process what you see better, quicker. It could motivate you that way, or it's gonna make you keep your hands in your pocket. It's gonna keep you leery. It's gonna make you second guess, and it's gonna keep you strictly on the defensive because you're gonna be thinking, "Oh, I don't want to get laid out again." So we'll see which way J-Rock is going to be motivated to fight tonight. All right, and now let's go to the keys of victory, and we will start with Jarrett Hurd. All right, he has to impose his will with effective pressure tonight. That's self-explanatory, man. He's at his best when he's the hunter, when he's the stalker, when the opponent is the prey. But along with hunting and stalking his opponent, man, he's got to be able to land good, effective, clean shots on his opponent. Needs to take advantage of physical advantages. Hurd is 3 inches taller and has a 4-inch reach advantage on J-Rock. Will the reach advantage come into play? Don't know, because Hurd likes to be inside anyway. So, so we'll see. And also, man, coming into this fight tonight, Hurd is gonna be the bigger guy, like actual weight and size wise. He's gonna be the bigger guy. So that physicality, it needs to come into play, man. He needs to put that weight on J-Rock and help him burn that gas tank down quicker, and you know what I'm saying, and work the body. Okay, which is my next point. He must work the body. We talked about the good body work that Hurd does. We need to see it tonight, and we need to see it consistently tonight. J-Rock is a mover. J-Rock gets on that bicycle. Invest into the bank of the body is a way to shut down that bicycle or that motorcycle or whatever it is he's going to be riding in the ring tonight. Okay, last one. Hard effective combos. We also talked about his combo punching, man. We need to see that. We need to see effective combos. We need to see combos to the body. But once those hands start to get stapled to his ribs, we need to see nice combos up top as well. All right, on to J-Rock. Good footwork and lateral movement is key. He's going to have to ice skate around that ring or rollerblade or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have to be able to navigate around that ring effectively and stay away from Hurd as much as he can. But in the midst of that, he's going to have to get shots, respect gaining shots off on that boy too. Control range and distance. Now, normally, I would not say that, being that he is the fighter with the reach disadvantage. But Jalen Hurd doesn't really care about his reach advantage anyway, because he wants to be inside. So I think it's on Julian Williams to control the range and distance of this fight, man, with his jab, and you know, and then straight right behind it. So we'll see. The good jab and working off that jab is a must. We just kind of hit on that before. In order to control range, we need to see that good, sharp, snappy jab, quick jab, not a lazy jab, not a pawn jab, anything like that. Hurd is going to walk through it. So, and before you know it, he's going to be right up in your face like that, real quick like. So, yeah, he needs to work that jab and work good combinations off the jab. I want to see him double and triple that jab up to keep Hurd at bay, and then able to initiate something off of those jabs. He needs to win the early gift rounds. We talked about Hurd being a slow starter and it taking a while for that motor to get cranked up. In the meantime, in between time, while that motor is getting warmed up, Hurd needs to be, Williams needs to be busy winning those rounds. However long that is, if it's 2 rounds, if it's 3 rounds, if it's 4 rounds, he needs to win those rounds. Those rounds are going to be vital for him as it goes down the stretch and if it goes to the scorecards, man. Yeah, that's what I got. All right, now on to my prediction. I got Jarrett Swift Hurd winning by 10-round knockout. I think he's going to be able to catch up to J-Rock. I don't think J-Rock has enough to keep him off of to keep Jarrett Hurd off him for 12 rounds. I think J-Rock is going to have some success early in the fights until that motor gets cranked up, until he's able to get get inside and get that body work consistently like he always does. You know, Hurd has fought movers before. Hurd has fought, you know, slick fighters, you know, technical, fundamental boxers before, you know, and he's always found a way to get in there in that kill zone, get shoulder to shoulder, you know, let those hard combinations to the body and then up top go and just force his will on his opponent, you know. And as much as I like J-Rock, and I think this is gonna be a good fight, but I just don't think J-Rock's gas tank is big enough for what he's about to go through with the tank-driven brick wall, with the grenade launchers. Yeah, man, it's about to be a good fight, man. But I think Jarrett Hurd is gonna ultimately put J-Rock down. But we will see, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Leave comments below. And holler at your boy, man. But yeah, that's all I got. Hey, gotta once again send a salute out to the whole Block fam. Make sure y'all stop over at MARLO'S Corner. Pull up tonight, man. It's going down. And the best fight call, live commentary in the game. It's going down to homie Trey X along with Marlo and all the rest of us in the Block fam, man. We kicking it, we having a good time, so come join us, man. Hey, salute to the whole LDBC, salute to the whole fighting community, man. And I'm trying to think, is that it? Oh, before I go, I gotta let you know, man. Y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV, and we appreciate y'all for stopping back by the house, man. You know, we're gonna keep doing this, man. And we got some good fights coming up here in the next few weeks. So make sure y'all keep stopping back through, man. We're going to put a little extra content out there. You know, we got Deontay Wilder coming up here pretty soon. So, yeah, it's going down. Trying to think. Is there anything else? Anything? Nope. That's all I got. So y'all can go ahead and get on out the house now. Gee.